Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another live stream through Club Passim. Now, this is something a little bit different than we're going to do tonight. It's not going to be a live concert. We're going to do a bit of a clip show, thinking about the last year that we've had. Not in a maudlin way. We want to put some positivity on this. We want to let you know the kinds of things that we've been doing and just give you a little bit of the behind-the-scenes world of what it has taken to take this entire operation and put it on the internet over the past year. Here we are. Let me tell you a little bit about Passim. I don't know if you're tuned in, you don't know about Passim. Passim is a nonprofit organization. We're in Harvard Square in Cambridge, Massachusetts. We've been running as a nonprofit for 26 years. We've been a venue in Harvard Square for over 60 years, starting out as the Club 47 back in 1958. But as a nonprofit these days, we're not just a music venue where we put on concerts 7 nights a week, but we also have a music school. We have outreach programs. We give grants to artists through our Iguana Music Fund, where we give out over $40,000 every year to musicians in the New England area to help with their projects. And also, we started something back at the beginning of the pandemic called the PAIR Fund, the Passim Emergency Artist Relief Fund. And you can make a donation to any of these things right now. You can help us out tremendously by making a donation at passim.org/support. I thought I had a prop here. I'll show you in just a little bit. We've got a little bit of an incentive for you to give tonight, and I will get my prop very soon. So we're gonna take a look at everything that's happened. The last show that we did in person in 2020 was tonight. So this is not the first day of the pandemic. This is the last night that we had a concert, and we had John Paul White performing at the club for 2 shows. The night before, we had Dave Godowski doing an album release for his band. And these shows, we started to see attendance drop off dramatically, where shows that were going to be full were all of a sudden half full because people were scared to come out. And understandably so. That night, I went out to a show at Great Scott in Alston to see the band The Western Den and Olivia Barton, who had all been employees of Passim at one time or another, and had a great time seeing them, came back to Passim to see the second show of John Paul White, and talked to him a little bit after the show about, what does the rest of the tour look like? Because things were shutting down. Things were making the announcement that emergency was declared. There was already a call for everyone to make it back to the United States if they could, or stay away if they had to. It was a different administration then. It was a different world then. We're still in the same world. It's changing a lot. We're hoping to be back in the room again, seeing you all and putting on shows late in the summer or in the fall. We want to make sure we do it safely. We want to make sure that you are all taken care of when you're there. But we've got a fun night of videos for you here and a little bit of talk about how we've done things. We're going to start things off with a little bit of A-B, looking at our first live stream from the club after we'd shut down. Now, from those of you that remember the old days of live streaming, back I was doing some Facebook Live from my phone from the sound booth for some shows, but we had been using something called Concert Window, which doesn't exist anymore, but we had a webcam up on a pole. And it was at a very harsh angle that made it feel a little bit like a security camera. And it had low resolution and terrible lighting. And we knew no better. We thought that was what it was to live stream. Boy, did we learn different over the next several months. So this is, we're going to have a little bit of a clip from the first live stream show we had from an empty club once the pandemic hit. This is from April of 2000. With Dinty Child, and then we are going to switch quickly to a show that he did in January of 2021 when we had a whole lot of new gear and Dinty had built a contraption to make everyone safe. So here is a little bit of the beginning of the pandemic and what we've got going on now from Dinty Child.
We booked this show back in January, I think. It was I released a new record, and did a really fun show at Oberon in Cambridge and in Brooklyn with a 12-piece band with a string section. But we decided this would be the bookend of that, of just stand on the stage and sing the songs. And I am standing on the stage by myself and singing the songs as planned. For those of you who are wondering, Passim gave me the key to the room, and I spent most of the week building this so we could do this. Really, it came about, I was trying to think of what I wanted to do, and what I really wanted to do was sing with people and look at people and be near them. Be near them, but be safe. Come on, over there.
It makes you more sad, to be honest.
And so that's why I went to the trouble to do this, and I'm really, really glad I did. Oh, the days are getting colder, and the white wine turns to red. They're closing up the windows, putting blankets on the bed, but the engine won't turn over. Something's wrong with my machine. The road is out before me as the red light turns to green, 'cause I'm hellbent on holding on. Yeah, I'm hellbent on holding on. The red light turns to green. I guess it's really time to go. But the shotgun seat is empty and you're not answering your phone. And the weathermen are nervous about the never-ending drought. But I'm gassing up the more as the green grass turns to brown. 'Cause I'm hellbent on holding on. Yeah, I'm hellbent on holding on. Someone left the front door open. Somehow orange leaves have blown in. Oh, the green grass turns to brown. I guess I'll put this thing away. Guess there's nothing more to tell you. Guess there's nothing left to say. Oh, the sun is finally setting as the day turns into night. Guess I'll open another bottle as my suntan turns to white. 'Cause I'm hellbent on holding on. I'm hellbent on holding on. Yeah, I'm hellbent on holding on. He's hellbent. I'm hellbent on holding on. What? That's right, I am. Yeah, it's getting better all the time. only fun.
Dinty Child, everybody!
It's a phrase we didn't hear enough of in the last year is, I'm really having fun. That was Dinty Child, of course, with Zachariah Hickman on bass, Elisa Amador on vocal. She's going to be playing live streaming from the club on Saturday. And then Bean, who is on his way to LA because he's on American Idol. Because that's the kind of talent that we have coming and being as a waiter. Bean is a waiter at the club, a performer on our stage numerous times, and now he's on American Idol. So you got that going for him. So that's a little bit of the start of where we were at and more what we're at now. Coming up now, we're going to talk a little bit about some of the things that we got started once COVID hit. And I want to bring on Abby Altman to talk with me about this. Hey. Abby. Hey. So what I remember after the first day when we weren't going to have a show in the club. So we had a show on the Wednesday the 11th, and Thursday the 12th we had Chris Delmhorst booked. And we were on the phone back and forth all day trying to figure out, are we going to do this? And when we got to the point of no, we are not going to put people at risk. We didn't feel it was right to tell people that, you bought a ticket. It's a valid ticket. We're having the show. You got to come no matter what. And Chris was just we were back and forth all day trying to figure out what we were going to do. And we went live online on Facebook that first day one.
Yeah, after you spent like an hour on the phone with her, sound checking,
trying to figure out how to do this,
trying to figure out how it would work, and like with her internet, and
we
this was pretty new to everyone. Like lots of folks hadn't ever gone.
Yeah,
live.
we didn't do it through our page. We did it through hers.
Just hers,
and we just promoted it, and took donations, and tried to make it feel as much like a show as we could, and. Back then, we couldn't come on and talk before shows and things like that. It was just like artists popped on, we were off with the show. But the next day, that Friday, we started to talk seriously as a staff about what we were going to do for everybody that was going to be out of work now for a long time. Not just staff, but artists as well.
Yeah, well, and at that point, we had thought, we'll probably be out until April, so 3, maybe 4 weeks, and that's, for people who tour all the time, that's a huge part of their income.
That could be rent for the month.
Mm-hmm. So then we started talking about, what can we do to help our particular community? Like, there's so many people that are going to need help right now, but we need to focus on the piece of the pie that we can help with. And so all of us office staff just sat in the hallway and
had one of our infamous hallway meetings
and kind of hashed out this idea for the Passim Emergency Artist Relief Fund,
which we were trying to figure out a name for it, and two, we knew how we were going to raise money for it. That wasn't the hard thing, but it was like, how are we going to get the word out? And so we started to reach out to artists to make videos, and what we came up with, and it was, the brainchild of us and Cindy Howes and Marielle Vandersteel and Jim Worcester, and we were all sitting around trying to figure out how we were going to get the word out about this fund that we were going to create to help artists. And we came up with this idea of a festival where you stayed at home. And we didn't have a good word for it. We didn't have a good name for it. And there was a lot of contentious argument about what we were going to call it.
Couchella was an option at one point.
Couchella was, I think I was really vying for that. Mm-hmm. And I was shot down. And then there's a Richard Thompson song called Keep Your Distance. And so we thought, like, the Keep Your Distance Festival, because it was all about social distancing, even from that very first moment of the pandemic. And so we came up with the Keep Your Distance Festival. And now the way we looked at the pandemic was very different back then. You know what we were doing. People were, were washing their groceries as they came in, like leaving your groceries outside for a couple of days. And one of the things that was always in the forefront that everyone was saying was, don't touch your face. Don't touch your face. Because that was the biggest thing. It's not the biggest thing. It's not really the biggest thing. But so we started this video program, and we had artists send in videos, and there were hundreds of people that did this, and there were a lot of, the idea was people could send in things of songs of hope, or songs of bringing people together, or just positivity. But not everyone thought that way. And so what do we have here, Abby?
We have a little submission from Jim Infantino. He sent us in a couple songs actually for the Keep Your Distance Fest, but this is my personal favorite of his, so we're going to go to Jim now.
Jim Infantino, I'm really glad to be asked to be part of the Club Passim Keep Your Distance Fest, and to be part of a great community of musicians that center around Club Passim and support the club and support each other. In these hard times, we all need some support. So if you could, please go to the Passim Emergency Artist Relief Fund at passim.org/PEAR fund. That's passim.org PEAR fund. And here's my distraction. Wash my hands, I want you to wash me. If I get sick, I want you to watch me. If I have a fever, I want you to check me. If I have a cough, I want you to inspect me. I don't want to quarantine in place, but when I think about you, I touch my face. Whoa, I don't want to quarantine in place. I know, I know, I know. You and I are socially distant. I got no fever and I feel just fine. I might have the virus and I might be resistant. Don't wanna give you mine. We're eye to eye, but we're 6 feet away. You sneeze into your elbow and I still feel the spray. To be with you could be way too risky. I stop my fantasy and pour myself a whiskey. I don't want to quarantine in place, but when I think about you, I touch my face. Whoa, I don't want to quarantine in place. I know, I know, I know. Eye to eye, but you're 6 feet away. You sneeze into your elbow and I still feel the spray. To be like this could be way too risky. I stop my fantasy, but I'm feeling so frisky. I don't want to quarantine in place, but when I think about you, I touch my face. Whoa, I don't want to quarantine in place. I know, I know, I know. I touch my face. I touch my face. to quarantine in place. I touch my face and think about you. I touch my face, I touch my face on walls to quarantine in place. I know, I know, I know, I know.
It's a whole tribute night waiting to happen, is rewritten 90s hits for the quarantine. I see that happening sometime in the next year. So speaking of the Pear Fund, tonight we are raising money for Passim and the Pear Fund. We're going to split donations half and half. And if you, we found that we made these back in December, and we found a limited stock still available. And if you make a $100 donation to the show tonight, I know it says $20 donation is a suggested donation. If you make a $100 donation, you're going to get one of these masks sent to you. There's only about 10 of them left. So, and remember, the Pear Fund, that's money in, money out. We're taking that in, and it's going right back out into the community. And through that fund, we have raised nearly $160,000 that has been going right back out to musicians. So thank you all for your generosity. So that was March. Now in April, of course, we thought we were going to be open, and we weren't, were we, Abby?
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. And April is when we start thinking about festival times.
In fact, we had already, I think it was before we shut down, we had already booked our Bluegrass and Old Time Festival that happens in April. And when we shut down, we thought, we'll be closed for a few weeks. We'll be back in the room by Patriots Day weekend. No problem for the festival.
Of course we will. Not so much.
Didn't happen. So we had to figure out a way to put our first festival online. We hadn't yet discovered StreamYard, which is now our streaming platform of choice, which allows us to come in and kind of chat and easily bring folks in and out, add in videos, things like that. So we reached out to other artists who've been doing the festival thing already. Like even just in the few weeks that we've been shut down, there has been just an amazing community of artists who want to share the information that they've learned. Like over the last year, we have learned and shared so much that we have figured out with everyone else. So I reached out to Galen Fraser, who was part of the Stay at Home Fest that kind of focused on tribe musicians. They did this big weekend long, I don't know if it was 24 hours. It felt like 24 hours. They had folks from all over the world that were...
Everything feels like 24 hours.
That were tuning in, and they had hosted this amazingly successful festival on Instagram. So I called him, kind of figured out how they were doing it tech-wise, and that's how we structured our Bluegrass Festival in April.
And it was to changing success. Things were different. I'm looking at the chat right now, and actually I want to say, like, yeah, Herb, that Vance Gilbert show, that was back at the beginning of February. That was one of my favorite shows of all time at the club as well. The Vance Gilbert with the full band. Herb was there, and Sonia Ray and Ryan Taylor on guitars, and Craig Aiken on bass, and Marco Givino on drums. And it was just like amazing stuff. Yeah, and that was right before this all came down. And actually, if anybody has questions about anything, put them in the chat. We'll try to address them so you know what's going on as well.
Or memories. Like, we also want to hear, like,
yeah,
like the cool streaming stuff that you've been saying. You know, what have you enjoyed? We want to hear that too.
Yep. But so going into our Bluegrass Festival, we were just like, Abby worked on the tech of this, and she had just gotten a brand new computer and brought it over here so we could kind of use this as home base for what we were doing. And yeah, the studio. And we couldn't come on and talk to people. Like we couldn't come on and interact with the bands. It was just like, you go. It's like, and we're live. And it was all through Instagram Live that was getting pulled to other platforms. And what you might know about Instagram is it goes this way. It goes this way. It's in a square and it goes this way. I mean, I guess a square should go either way, but it's vertical, not horizontal. And not everyone had that figured out yet. Or maybe, I mean, sometimes because they didn't know, and sometimes it was rather willful.
I think this one was a choice. I'm gonna give that to them. So we have a little clip from Gabe Hirschfeld and whoever was living in the Brighton house at that time. They called themselves Gabe Hirschfeld and Asparagrass. Here is a clip from last April's Bluegrass Festival.
Turn this way.
Yeah.
Sideways, they'll be okay. They know what it's like to deal with it. All right. Sorry about being a little late starting. My phone was not connecting to whatever was happening, so we're using our manager Corey Brodsky's phone.
Oh, howdy.
Is that looking good? That's not sounding good.
What's the change in the first one? What's the packet?
Hey there, welcome to the Club Passim Down Home At Home Festival. We're at home right now and we sure hope you are too. The band is called Gabe Hirschfeld and Asparagrass, and we're hoping that by the end of this set your pee is going to smell real funny. We're going to start with the tune that got me into banjo. It's called Doggy Mountain Breakdown. It was written by David Grisman. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
It was Gabe Hirschfeld and Asparagrass, a little sideways there. Some crooked tunes, I guess. That would be crooked tunes. That is from our Down Home Up Here Bluegrass Festival, which became the Down Home At Home Bluegrass Festival last year, and will be again this year. That's coming up, isn't it, Abby?
Yep, I need to do some work. That's what that means.
Yeah, well, so that's how things started going with our festival. But so that was in the middle of April. When we put together our schedule for the Campfire Festival over Labor Day, we were thinking, of course, we're going to be back in the room. Of course, we're going to be back in the room. Memorial Day, you got to be kidding me. It's like a month and a half away. And when the reality started to sink in that we weren't going to be there, we started to rethink what Campfire was going to look like. And went from a 4-day, 12 hours a day festival to a 7-day, 5 hours a day?
5 hours a day. That sounds right, yeah.
And so we kept it the evenings, and we shortened the sets, but we kept the schedule fairly intact. But what we realized is that we could do it a little bit different.
And so we had at this point we had found StreamYard, and that was this campfire, the Memorial Day campfire, was the first time that we really used this setup, and that we were able to come and Matt could host and introduce people and say hi, and have transitions. It was lovely. Everyone was the right justification here, but also it wasn't just that we like venues were learning things. Like, artists were getting so creative with how they were putting together. A lot of people were using a cappella to remotely put songs together. And we have a clip for you from the Memorial Day campfire of a band that managed to put together something in person so that they could all play together safely, even though they were from different households.
This is almost a demo of Dinty's Terrarium that he put together later on.
Definitely.
But yeah, Calliope Jones recorded a set for us. It was not live, it was recorded. We realized we could do recorded sets as well and put together something really interesting. So here is a clip from Calliope Jones Memorial Day Campfire.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. I stand before you with my palms outstretched and frizzy hair. My jacket's ripped up, boots are scuffed, but baby hit the ground, yeah. You stand before me with your half-closed eyes, and street boy swears your music's too loud, ego's too proud. Baby hit the ground, run. Baby hit the ground, running. Baby hit the ground, running. Baby hit the ground. I say, okay, run into the fray. You know I roll when you style, babe. 'Cause we don't got the time for them way. Turn and go, let them fall, go our own way. I'm running towards you with my nails bitten down, my shirt's too tight, my headspace feels like a waste. Don't be a cliche, baby. You
Fight the good fight.
You say it's alright. You smoke too much in the morning. You
Fall asleep fast.
You can't make much last. But baby, I'ma fall fast. Baby, I'ma fall fast. Baby, I'ma fall fast. Baby, I'ma fall for you. I say, okay, run into the fray. You know I roll when you style, babe. 'Cause we don't got the time for them way. Turn and go, let them fall, we'll go our own way. So light me up just like you'd smoke a cigarette, and fold me like a deck of cards. 'Cause I'm the queen of heartbreak and love making, diamonds taking us, shaking me around, hit the ground. I'll rise before you like a phoenix from the ashes. This world ain't that kind, but oh so can make it out, we can make it out. I say, okay, run into the frame. You know I roll with your style, babe. 'Cause we don't got the time for that boy. Turn and go, let 'em fall. Turn and go, let 'em fall. Turn and go, let 'em we'll go away.
That's Calliope Jones at the Memorial Day Campfire Festival. We have since had both Isabella DeHert and her new band High Tea and Alouette Bateau do live streams for us as well. And the three of them got to do a campfire set where they were just in the round live playing a song swap instead of playing all together. But man, we can't wait to get them back in the room again. So it wasn't just about the venue. I mean, like Passim is an organization that has a lot going on, and another one of the major pieces of what we do is our School of Music, and we couldn't have classes anymore, so we had to take that online as well. And Rachel Sumner had come on heading our School of Music, and oh hey Rachel.
Oh hey, how's it going?
It's going all right. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
You bet. So tell us about like the new vision of what could happen with the school when it was online instead of in person.
Yeah, so Marielle Vandersteel Weislouch did an incredible job initially moving everything online, and I came in the second semester that we were completely online, and it actually opened up a lot of really interesting doors. So for those who aren't familiar with the school, we have our classes in the office upstairs, so it's up about 4 flights of stairs, right? And the classes are really small. The rooms are really small, so it limits the amount of people that can be there, and it also limits the kind of instruments that we can have in class. Like, it's really tough to get upright basses up there, and pianos, it's practically impossible to bring a piano upstairs. So
it's been done
it's been
once.
Yes. Oh, really?
It's permanent.
Oh my gosh.
Just the one piano that's up there.
Oh, right. There is a piano up there. Right. Yes. There's one piano, not enough to go around, though, for a whole class. So when we realized everything was going to be online, I knew that we could have more classes that maybe weren't as accessible in the time before. So we added bass classes. We are doing piano classes now. It's been really, the teachers have been incredible at altering the way that they teach and interact with students. There's a lot more like video sharing beforehand, and they've come up with really innovative ways to try to play together using Zoom. Nobody can play completely in sync with one another, but they've figured out some neat workarounds for that.
And both the teachers and the students don't have to be local anymore.
It's so true. Yeah, we've gotten students from Alaska. We've had students from North Carolina, San Francisco, and a lot of students who maybe wouldn't have been able to like make the drive into Harvard Square. Mm-hmm. They don't have to worry about parking right now. So it's really opened up the school in a lot of excellent ways too. Yeah. So
what are we going to see?
Well, we're going to see a clip from the recital. We had our very first virtual recital. Normally there's like 1 or 2 recitals that happen in the club during the afternoon at the end of a semester, and it's always fun. It's like packed house. So we decided to try to translate that to online, and the teachers worked really hard getting students to like film themselves, and they compiled it all together, and we put together like a 2-hour show of classes from the last semester, and it was such an incredible time. So we're gonna watch the Celtic Ensemble led by Jan Falquette and Christine Hedden, and they're gonna play a little medley of tunes for us.
Amazing.
1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you so much. Good night.
That was the Celtic Music Ensemble from this last semester, our winter semester, and that is led by Christine Hedden and Jan Falke. And we are so excited that next week we are starting our Spring 1 semester, and that is a class that you can take if you are a Celtic music player. We also have tons of other classes. We've got a songwriters study group that offers weekly prompts, a really great way to get your creative juices flowing. We've got mandolin classes, fiddle classes, banjo classes. We've got bluegrass ensemble and private voice lessons. There's so much going on. Go check out passim.org/classes if you want to browse through everything and see what we're offering this next semester. We're also going to add some workshops. We do one-time workshops. We sprinkle them through the months. Coming up, we've got Jake Jolliffe, who used to play in Joy Kills Sorrow and used to play with the Yonder Mountain String Band. He's going to be offering a workshop on March 21st. So lots of cool folks, visiting folks coming in and sharing knowledge. So definitely check out passim.org. And I think we're going to watch one more video, and this is the piano class led by Bridget Driscoll. We are offering 3 piano classes, piano, intro to piano, piano 1, or piano 2, and piano 3. This is the piano 1 class from our last semester. Take it away, Bridget.
Thanks to Rachel and Marielle before her for running the School of Music and doing such a wonderful job and pulling people together that otherwise wouldn't be able to. So something else that we learned through technology, of course, is that there's that lag that makes you not able to actually perform together in most cases. Sometimes, there are folks that have found ways, but early on, in June, we did a week of shows at the end of our fundraising campaign called the Passim Festival. And we were doing in the round shows because we found that there was a lot of engagement and it felt more like a concert where you were part of something. And so we put together these rounds of songwriters, and somehow in this one show, these 4 found a way to actually play together. And so this is a Lisa Amador song, and it's with Rose Cousins, Hanukkah Castle, and Edie Carey.
Anyway,
over to
that,
you, Lisa.
It's that honest magic. Okay, wait, technical request. Please do not make me alone in this box. I want to stay with everybody while I play for this last song because I love hanging out with you all. Also, if Matt and Abby, who are running this, want to appear, they can at this moment. This is a song that is meant to be sung in group. Now, of course, because of wonderful technological lag, we can't sing, exactly in time with each other, but I think that we can. Hanukkah and Rose were the ones that inspired this idea of just figuring out a way to play together, even with the lag, on this song since it has a drone. Okay, let me take a breath. I'm so excited and I'm so inspired by everybody. Whew. Whew.
Deep cleansing breaths.
Okay, Rose, thank you for that song. This song is called Together, and it is an ode to the power of friendship in a difficult world. And it has a part for you in it, and I think you'll know when it comes. Now, if you want to sing that part, then keep yourself muted and mouth it really big so that everyone can see that you're singing. Okay?
Should we try ooze? I wonder if we don't say the word
let's
together,
try.
maybe we could just hold ooze and do harmony.
Okay, rehearsal. Ready? So you want me to do the
Rehearsal?
together part?
Who rehearses anymore?
Together, 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 together. That's working for me. I'm so excited. Together, together, together. Hanukkah, can we hear you? Together, 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 and now everybody at every computer screen, and now Matt and Abby. I think we've got it. It makes me so happy. All right. That was the gorgeous rehearsal. I don't know if I should continue, but here's the beginning of the song.
I think you should.
Thank you, everyone. Oh, what a joy. All of the people of all of the earth, each with a piece of all this hurt. Some take it in, some give it away, among other things that I can't explain. Childlike wonders that wither and flicker and fade. But when we're together, opening heart, it doesn't matter that all falls apart. When we're together, there lies the art. We'll make it better when it falls apart. Will it always fall apart? All of the people of all of the earth, each with a reason, a heart, and a worth. Some devastate when you're in their way and dig themselves deeper in hopes that you stay. Childlike blunders that cover up feeling afraid. But when we're together, wandering soul, we'll build a ladder and climb out of that hole. When we're together, our only goal is to make it better when it all unfolds. For it always does unfold. Together, 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 together.
my heart.
That worked so beautifully. My God, that was amazing.
So beautiful. That's Elisa Amador, Hanukkah Castle, Rose Cousins, and Edie Carey. Elisa is going to be live from Club Passim on Saturday with her band. She started 2020 with 3 sold-out shows at the club on January 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. And we are so thrilled to be having her back in the room with her band for a live stream on Saturday. So come on back. Ooh, that's a tough one to get through. So in June, we brought back something that we hadn't done in a long time. Didn't we, Abby?
Oh, is this where I talk? We brought back the open mic, the weekly Tuesday night open mic, and we have been running that since when was it? June,
Since
July?
June. I think it was the end of June.
Wow, so strange. Yeah, so like in the club, we've been kind of doing the open mic on and off for the last handful of years, and we decided what better time to try something new than when the world is upside down. So we decided to try a virtual open mic, and it has been such a success. Kind of like similar to what Rachel was talking about with being able to have participants from all over the country. We have been able to pull in folks from all over the place.
All over the world.
All over the world. We've had many different countries, many different time zones. People who it's their first time playing, people who are established artists who would just pop in for fun and play a couple songs. We've had all kinds of folks.
And we've discovered folks, and we've had them play at our campfire festivals now, and done the Discovery series, and so it's become a useful tool for us.
Yeah,
in
and
developing artists.
We've been doing once a month. We have a themed open mic. We've had banjo night and cello night and Celtic night, and in April we're going to have bluegrass and old time night to get you ready for the Bluegrass and Old Time Festival. Yeah. We've been trying to keep it interesting, and every week just so many people want to play that we're going to keep doing this online for a while.
And we've had a wide range of ages coming. You know, there have been older folks who are coming in that are just kind of revisiting playing their instruments. But we've had young folks too. And one Tuesday I got a text from my friend Tom Bianchi, who runs things over at the Burren, and he said, "Hey, my wife Danielle Moralia has a student that is going to be playing at your open mic this week, and you should check him out." And we did. And wow.
And we have invited him back a few times, particularly like, please come back and play for us again, because we love his stuff. But here we have a clip for you from his first open mic, and not just his first Passim open mic. This is his very first open mic of all time.
And how old is he?
He's 13?
13, I
maybe
think?
14 now? Yeah.
So good luck to everyone else out there.
Yeah, so here is a song from Andrew Sue Wing.
We've got a great and brand new artist to us here for our second artist of the night, brought to us by our good friend Danielle Moralia. And please welcome Andrew Sue Wing. Hello, Andrew.
Hello.
Welcome.
This is actually my first open mic.
Amazing.
Beautiful.
Well, we are thrilled to have you. Take it away.
So I'm going to play some an Otis Redding composition, which is regarded as his last masterpiece, entitled Sitting on the Dock of the Bay. Sitting in the morning sun, I'll be sitting when the evening comes, watching the ships roll in, then I'll watch them roll away again. So I'm sitting on the dock of the bay, watching watching the time roll away, sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. Well, I left my home in Georgia, headed for the Frisco Bay, 'cause I had nothing to live for. Looked like nothing gonna come my way. So I'm sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the time roll away, sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. Look like nothing's gonna change. Everything still remains the same. I know everything. So look like I'll remain the same. Just sitting here resting my bones. This loneliness won't leave me alone. 2,000 miles I roam just to make this stop my home. Whoa, I'm just sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the time roll away, sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. That was Sitting on the Dock of the Bay by Otis Redding. Alright, thank you.
Come on! That was amazing, Andrew.
Thank you.
So when did you start playing guitar?
Well, I started playing guitar at, I believe, 5.5. I'm currently 13. And I've been taking lessons with Danielle Moralia for 8 years now. 7, 8 years.
Well, she's obviously a great teacher, and you're an incredible student. And how is your voice deeper than mine? That's just irritating, actually. That you've got a better voice than I do. You're fantastic, and it's a real pleasure having you here. And thank you for having this be your first open mic. And we hope.
Thank you.
Again.
I'm still kind of mad that his voice is deeper than mine, but I'm trying to get over it.
Andrew Sue Wing, that was unbelievable. Well, I just want to take a moment to remind you folks that tonight's show is a benefit for both Passim and the Pear Fund. And if you make a donation of $100 or more, Summer found a handful of these still in the club, the fashionable Passim face masks. We are just down to the last about 10 of them. And if you make a $100 donation, you're going to get one of these. So thank you for tuning in, and make a donation if you can at passim.org/stream. We have a $20 suggested donation. If you make a $100 donation, you're going to get a mask in the mail from Summer. She's going to send one to you. Coming up now, we have continued our tribute nights, which have been such a fun thing in the club over the last several years. But again, bringing them online invited new people to the table, but also made them get a little creative. So last year we were doing tribute nights to the aughts, the 0 decades. We started with 1970 back in January, we did 1980 in February, and then we kept going. We thought that's done for the year. We wanted to get through till 2020, but we got there. And this is a tribute, the 2020 tribute, and a great performer who has been doing a lot of these now. This is Louis Apollon, who put together something a little different from just the live video.
I can't escape it. Never gonna make it out of this in time. I guess that's just fine. I'm not there quite yet. Thoughts are such a mess. Like a little boy, what you running for? Arrive at the door. Anyone home? Have I lost it all? It struck me like a chord. I'm an ugly boy, holding out the night. Lonely after light begged me not to go. Sinking like a stone, use me like an oar to get yourself to shore. Bang at the door. Anyone home? That's just what they do. Right in front of you, like a cannonball, smashing through your wall. In their face I saw what they're fighting for. I can't escape it. Never gonna make it out of this, I guess. It struck me like a chord. I'm an ugly boy, holding out the night. Lonely after light, banging on the door. I don't wanna know, sinking like a stone. So use me like an oar. Hard to find what I can't see. Not trying to build no dynasty. Hard to see beyond this wall. But we lost this game so many times before. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. I've been on a cold road, on a cold road. I'll be waiting, yeah. I'll be waiting from the other side, on the other side, waiting for the time. Yeah, I'll be waiting from the other side. On the other side, waiting for the tide to rise.
That's Louis Apollon, who somehow turned the Strokes into a boy band. I mean, it is a band full of boys, but turn it into a boy band in such a good way. That was unreal.
Well, and just like the work that he put into that one song.
I love it.
It's nuts. Like it's so cool to see like what artists are doing to get creative.
Yeah.
And have fun with. Because
Totally.
because we had like just a normal streaming show with Louis a couple months ago, and I got the chance to chat with him about his videos as well. And he said that, like, he does that because he has fun with it.
Well, that's the great thing is, people are finding ways to be creative in a space where you might feel like all creativity can be sapped, and not everyone is getting that inspiration, and there's no judgment there. I mean, like if people need to just kind of hold up and look away, I understand that, but some people have found new ways to get out there and make music, and it's been fun to watch. But like the tribute nights have been one of our traditions, just like the Bluegrass Festival, the Campfire Festival, and another tradition that we've had now. This 2020 was the big 10th year anniversary, but we didn't really treat it that way. But the Lamplighter shows, and Peter Mulvey and Barry Rothman have been putting these on for 10 years, and it's usually anywhere from 5 to 7 days of madness. It's kind of a circus at the club of a different kind of show every night. And given the format of the shows, we had to rethink what they looked like. And given the access...
And some of them were kind of the same. Some of them were like the duos night where it's just duos, but everyone's kind of swapping like round robin. The Ally McGurk band, that was kind of like a bunch of our stalwarts, all playing together.
The Tom Waits.
The Tom Waits night. Something fun that Peter did on his own was played Scrabble against the Passim audience. He was just at home. They had cameras set up on the boards, and his partner Jen Green helped facilitate the chat in playing Scrabble against Peter Mulvey. So it's just super cool ideas. And one of them that we did in the club
was very, very different. When Peter first said this to me, Peter and Barry had said, like, I've got this idea, and I was like, okay, I don't know how that works. But then as technology changed, our ability to do, the kinds of things we could do from the club changed. We really started to think about this in a different way that kind of got really exciting in a totally zany and ridiculous way. So I think you've got, is that the picture or is that the video? We don't have the picture, but we have the video, right?
I have the picture, but I kind of don't want to spoil it for folks who don't know
video.
What we're talking about. So we have a short clip of it's hard to say the strangest thing that has happened at Lamplighter, but it might be the strangest thing that has happened at Lamplighter.
Sure is one of them.
I think instead I'm just going to turn it over to the East Coast semifinal table tennis, aka ping pong match between Paul Paddles Kohansky and Mark Ping Pong Irelli.
How you doing, Paddles?
I'm swell, Mark.
Should we volley for serve?
Let us do that.
Ping for serve?
Ping.
P-I-N-G.
That's right, folks. We are here at the Lamplighter Table Tennis East Coast Regional Semifinals match between Mark Irelli and Paul Kohansky. My name is Matt Smith. I'm from the Cambridge Sports Network.
And I'm Chris Anzalone, and I'm from Medford.
Right.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be wild.
We're here at the first ever pandemic pugilistic ping pong Passim pile-up, and I am pretty excited.
What I'm amazed by is that they got the monkey to come out of retirement to be the line judge.
That monkey is a former champ, ping pong champ. We won't reveal who he is, just because this is just crazy.
Well, a little bit of statistics. I know that Mark Arelli has been a international champion before, and the amazing thing is that you might not know is that Mark Arelli has a wooden right arm.
It's true, Matt. And also something else you might not know about these two players is there's some bad blood. They don't like each other. Last year, in the middle of a match, they got into a fist fight during a break over an argument as to which was the better Darren on Bewitched. It got heated. It just got out of control. But so far tonight, the mood seems pleasant and civil.
So far. That was weird. So what you might not be able to tell from the camera work and everything like that is that it's about a 3/4 size ping pong table. It's tiny. There you go. It's really small, and so it was hard for them to play. It was not an easy match, and who knows? That might be a regular feature now for Lamplighter, or maybe outside of Lamplighter. Maybe we'll have the Bluegrass Festival, we'll have the Campfire Festival, and we'll have a ping pong tournament in the club. Let us know in the chat if you think that that's a good idea. I don't, to be honest. But speaking of traditions, as we move through the year, one of our yearly traditions that's been going on for ages now is the Covers Show. The Covers Show with Zach Hickman, Mark Arelli, Rose Cousins, and Jake Armerding. And they all took to this in different ways. Mark did his songs live. Some folks were doing some live, some video, some were all video, but they'd come on and talk in between. But again, that show always has this element of spontaneity and a sense of humor that makes it a do not miss show every year. And it was so sad to not be there for 4, or we were going to expand it to 5 shows for this past year, and to not do that in the room was really tough for all of us. And but they got creative, as they do, and Zach Hickman, of course, Zachariah just brings his A game for everything that he does. And so this is the song that he put together for the Under the Covers night of 2020.
Saturday morning, I put the pedal to the floor, headed north on Mills Avenue, and listened to the engine roar. My broken house behind me and good things ahead. A girl named Kathy wants a little of my time. 6 cylinders underneath the hood, crashing and kicking, aha, listen to the engine whine. I am gonna make it through this year, if it kills me. I am gonna make it through this year, if it kills me. In a drunken haze, I was 17 years young, hurt my knuckles punching the machines, the taste of Scotch rich on my tongue. trading swigs from a bottle, all bitter and clean, locking eyes, holding hands, twin high maintenance machines. I'm gonna make it through this year if it kills me. I'm gonna make it through this year if it kills me. I drove home in the California dusk. I could feel the alcohol inside of me. Pictured the look on my stepfather's face, ready for the bad things to come. I downshifted as I pulled into the driveway, the motor screaming out, stuck in second gear. The scene ends badly, as you might imagine, in a cavalcade of anger and fear. There will be feasting and dancing in Jerusalem next year. I'm gonna make it through this year if it kills me. I'm gonna make it through this year if it kills me. I'm gonna make it through this year if it kills me. I'm gonna make it through this year if it kills me.
Zachariah Hickman performing Mountain Goats for you for 2020 Covers Night with just a tiny bit of help from Marcarelli, but Zach carried the workload on that one. Again, that is a tradition that we've had so many years now, and it stemmed out of a different tradition that was going on for many, many years, where Laurie McKenna would do a weekend where she would do a couple of band shows and a couple of solo shows. And then we thought about, how can we expand this into something even more fun? Just continue the joy. And came in with the Covers Nights. And Laurie did that for many years before Rose Cousins took Laurie's seat in those shows. But Laurie, we got to have a couple of times this summer. Or not, well, this year. Last year.
This year.
This year.
In the last 365 days.
Yeah. This year means any time during the pandemic from start until whenever it ends.
Yes. Actually, I feel like it might include a couple years. Because when I say like, oh, last year I did that, I usually mean 2 years ago. So time is wibbly. We have another clip for you from inside of the club, one of these socially distant, no audience, artist only shows that we've been live streaming from the club. And I'm going to give a big thank you to the Live Music Society, who awarded us a grant to upgrade our streaming equipment in the club. So throughout the course of the year, we were learning better tech. We were getting a better computer. We were kind of figuring out what cameras make sense for our setup and that we will be able to continue to use in the future once we are back to audiences in the club as well. And the Live Music Society helped us out with some funds to get us better streaming equipment in the club. So this clip that you're going to see is from the Laurie McKenna band show over the holiday time around Christmas.
And it was her third time in the room since the pandemic started. We had her for an album release back in July, and then we did a filming with her and Marcarelli and Chris Delmhorst for Tin Pan South in September. But this was the band show, the one we've been waiting for.
Yeah, the big one, the fun one. And as Matt said, another one of our traditions. I don't know how many years Laurie has been doing that Christmas show with us, but
16, 17. It's hard to say.
Yeah. So up now we have a clip from this December of Laurie talking a little bit about the club and playing you Humble and Kind.
And if you didn't know, Laurie is up for a Grammy again this year. The Grammys are on Sunday. There was just a piece on WBZ News on her yesterday where I got to be interviewed talking about Lori from the club as well, and we're rooting for her.
Yeah, she's up for Crowded Table, I think. Yeah, a song that she wrote for the Highwaymen.
Yeah.
So,
here's a different song she was up for a Grammy for.
Here's something else. You're gonna know this one too.
For tuning in. Thank you for supporting Club Passim. I mean, I don't know what I would do without Passim. We don't know how many, like Matt said earlier when we started, we don't know how many years we have been in this room. Right before the holidays, we usually do 2 nights with 2 shows a night, and we think it's 16 years maybe. We're not sure. We have no idea. But it's something in there, and we're so thankful that you guys logged on and joined us tonight. There was no way we could get through this week without being in this building. I mean, if they didn't let me in, I probably would have just sat on the stairs outside and just, I'm used to spending so much time here this weekend. And, you know, I know you guys did the cover shows, and rooms like this are the most special things in the world for us. It's really why I have a job. I mean, I don't know if I would have really been a musician out of my house if not for the community that lives in this room, and not for people like these guys and Matt that I met so many years ago, and I'm thankful every day for it. So thank you for all of your donations, because everything's going to go to Passim and all the wonderful things that they do throughout the year, and all the things they do for musicians and for the arts in Boston and everywhere, really. I'm sure you have people that do classes that are just all over the place, but it's been a pleasure being with you. We got 2 more songs for you. I know we're running a little late, but we'll squeeze them out here. I appreciate you so much. I hope everyone has an amazing holiday, an amazing new year. I love you all. I appreciate you all. And I'm just gonna sing my kids a song for a minute here. You know there's a light that glows by the front door. Don't forget the key is under the mat. Where childhood stars shine. Always stay humble and kind. We'll go to church 'cause your mama says to. Visit grandpa every chance that you can. It won't be wasted time. Always stay humble and kind. Hold the door, say please, say thank you. Don't steal, don't cheat, and don't lie. I know you got mountains to climb, but always stay humble and kind. Those dreams that you're dreaming come to you when the work you put in is realized. Let yourself feel the pride, but always stay humble and kind. Don't expect a free ride from no one. Don't hold the grudge or a chip, and here's why. Bitterness keeps you from flying. Always stay humble and kind. Know the difference between sleeping with someone and sleeping with someone you love. I love you ain't no pickup lines. Always stay humble and kind. Hold the door, say please, say thank you. Don't steal, don't cheat, and don't lie. I know you got mountains to climb, but always stay humble and kind. Those dreams you're dreaming come true popsicle. Shut off the AC and roll the windows down. And let the summer sun shine. Always stay humble and kind. Don't take for granted the love this life gives you. When you get where you're going, turn right back around and help the next one in line. Always stay humble and kind.
Laurie McKenna with Humble and Kind. I've had to take a minute and cry between a lot of songs tonight here, so that's another one. But what a great tradition. One of the many great traditions we have. The longest running one I think that we have is Ellis Paul for New Year's Eve. And he'll usually do two songs in the 30... Two songs. It's a very short show. They're long songs, but there's just two. He'll do Alice's Restaurant and Inagata Davida, and then we're out. And so he'll do two shows on New Year's Eve, but two shows on the 30th as well. And when you're doing live streams, it doesn't make a lot of sense to do multiple shows because people can just watch whatever the hell they want to watch. And so it doesn't translate as well. So we knew we were going to do one marathon show on New Year's Eve, and we were going to start at 9 p.m. and just go right through the New Year's. And we did a Zoom call afterward for people that wanted to hang out and chat for a while. But what were we going to do the 30th? And so I was like, I know what we're going to do. We're going to do an Ellis Paul tribute night. And we're going to make him sit there and watch all of it. And come on and be with me watching this. And we put together this show of, it was like 30 artists. The show ran for a good solid, it was nearly 4 hours. It was probably just as long as the New Year's show. And he was just smiling and crying through the whole thing. And it was such a moving thing to see all these people that looked up to him and respected him and understood his importance as a songwriter. And it was such a fun thing to be able to show him how loved he is in the community as someone who's been doing this for a long time. And one of his oldest friends came on to do a song for him, and so this is Vance Ball, sort of. I mean, they're kind of married in their own way. Vance Gilbert at the Ellis Paul tribute night. Up next, we've got someone who you might know. I think you've met once or twice before. Let's just bring him in.
Hi. Is that an actual mask of me? I think it is.
That is.
God, that's creepy. That's really, really creepy.
He sounds like Ellis Paul.
Is this Ellis Paul?
So this is what the internet has turned into.
This is all the internet has turned into.
Hey. He doesn't have Ellis's blue eyes, though. Something's amiss. Hey.
For any of you out there that are very confused, it's Vance Gilbert.
Hello.
That's a cool COVID mask. Everyone wants that for the holidays.
You can make a lot of money off of that bad boy.
Thanks for doing this, brother.
What are you
I love
talking
you.
about? This is you're the guy. I've told you things that I haven't told anybody else on the planet. So that's how far back we go.
Things I wish I didn't hear.
I'm sure. But as a close friend is supposed to be like that you don't get that choice. That's nothing
right.
you get to choose to do.
No, I love you, man.
Like you don't know just where the tattoo is, but why you have it. You know, it's like
That's
all things like that.
He's got all the inside.
Yeah. Exactly. And how it wasn't done with a needle, and I still have the shard of glass. That kind of tattoo. That's right.
That ain't no rose tattoo.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So yeah, this is congratulations, buddy, on having such a great career and having me as a friend. Man, you're so lucky. So you found yourself a corner apartment with a view of the town all your own. All your friends say the city will kill you, cure you. 5 flights of stairs to your home. Even now, it's changed how you walk down the street, past cabbies and chimney sweeps. Be careful who you talk to. What has this city done to you? Has it taken the small town out of you? Turn you into someone I never knew? When we were kids by the warmth of a porch light, you'd smuggle out twin cigarettes. We'd blow smoke in the air with typical hometown flair. 2 futures we could not predict. Look at you now, the dreamer with the backdoor plan. You're marrying the musical man. Our faces on magazine stands. What has this city done to you? Has it taken the small town out of you? Or turn you into someone I never knew? Hey, did I ever know you? Did I ever know you? Did I ever know you? Light up these buildings, you turn the head of a man that's grown cold. You're when the streets are cold. I hear it shrieking in your 5th floor apartment. It's 3 a.m. back home, he'd put me to sleep. But he's struggling to be heard, he can't get in a word. 'Cause he's a fool shouting out loud in the streets. Where are you now? I've lost you somewhere on Montague Street, in the city that never sleeps. Is it the sideshow in you that speaks to you? What has this city done to you? Has it taken the small town out of you? Or turned you into someone I never knew? Hey, did I ever know you? Did I ever know you? Did I ever know you? Oh, did I ever know you? You were broken, hungry, yeah. Did I ever know you?
Nobody does that better than you, man. It's so beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you, man.
It's Vance Gilbert and Ellis Paul. What a great moment that was. Those two have been friends for so very long, and are, I'd say, 2 of the reasons that I even work at Passim at all. They were riding high in the scene back when I first started coming around to Club Passim and seeing what was going on back before it was Club Passim, when it was just Passim, and Bob and Ray and Donald were running it, and the two of them were headlining it, and just knocked me out, and made me want to go to more and more and more shows there. And here we are now, many years later, nearly 30. Oh God, is that true? We're getting there. The first time I went to the club was in October of '93, so we're coming up on 30 years. Amazing. But it's folks like that brought me in there in the first place. So thanks to Vance Gilbert and Ellis Paul. Well, turn the calendar, flip the calendar. We're into 2021 now, and in January we got a very cool opportunity.
Yeah, so I got the pleasure of working this show with Nobody's Girl, sort of
See, here I am.
Oh.
I was thinking of something else, but then this one, of course, yes.
Well, it's next.
I got behind, yeah.
It's next.
Or ahead.
Ahead, yeah. Well, January. We're talking about January.
Yeah, got that right.
And yeah, so I got to work this streaming show and with Nobody's Girl. They are fantastic, kind of based out of Austin, and though they can't all be together right now, they have figured out another awesome way of playing together. We saw earlier in the show, with Elisa's round, kind of how they managed to play together, and with Nobody's Girl, we're going to see a song of theirs where they managed to play together by trading off verses with each other, and it's I don't know how they all keep time and make it work, but they do. So here is a song by Nobody's Girl.
Welcome, honey, to Queen City, 20 miles west of the line. Meridian, Mississippi, where the beaten path unwinds. Leave your gold, your casseroles, your bottles of sweet red wine. Your losing hand, your wedding band, polished to a shine. No matter what you're running from whichever road you've come, pilgrims, children, want a mother's arms. Magazines describe the scene as the caravans came to town. 20,000 strangers crowded in from all around. Paid respects, Sunday best, a sermon and then a song. Clapping hands, a marching band, gild the lily till dawn. No matter what you're running from whichever road you've come, pilgrims, children, want a mother's arms. Ooh, ooh, Kelly was buried under many stars, scattered in the sight of God. She had 14 babies, one unborn, gravestones new and worn, hills of roses, hills of thorns. No matter what
In my heart, I was singing harmony, which is why I was mouthing along.
I was too. But I also got completely distracted for a minute because somebody made Star Trek references in the comments. So sorry about that, guys.
Nobody's Girl, that's Grace Pettis, Betty Sue, and Rebecca Loby from down in Austin doing their Nobody's Girl show. It's cool to see people finding ways. You know, again, you can't do harmonies. We should have picked a clip. There was a clip from the Nields early on, Narissa and Katrina Nields doing a show, and they're like, here, let's show people what it's like when we think that we're singing together. And they started singing together, and it was, of course, not together, and it was the most glorious cacophony. It was hilarious, but it shows you why people can't do that. Well, so later on in January, we got to have this really cool opportunity with Paste Magazine. Usually they do Paste sessions, either in their New York studio or in their Atlanta studio. But they knew they couldn't bring people in there. So they did Paste sessions on the road. And they came in with just a 2-person crew, and it was super great to work with them. They brought in the famous rug from the floor of the studio, and so, you know, where everything's got the same look as it does from the Paste sessions, and put together 3 days of 4 acts per day? It might have been more than that. But it was absolutely fantastic. Bringing in some acts that were regulars at the club, had played the club many times. There were all kinds of COVID precautions where, we had plenty of masks and sanitizers available. Mics were, like the covers were taken off them and new covers put on them. And it was really fun to watch, the way they worked in the context of our space at Passim. And we've got a couple of clips for you here. The first one is from Dwight and Nicole, and then after that, we're going to hear from Martin Sexton.
Well, we appreciate you guys coming very much to this venue. Matt was the one that introduced me to your music, and I've had a wonderful time digging in and finding out more about you. And it's been you've played this stage before, right? But it's been a while since that happened last.
Like one of our first gigs was here together.
It's true, and this room has always been a room that sounds so great, and it's always attracts a crowd that really listens to the music.
Oh man, that first gig here was amazing. Yeah. There was a reviewer from the Boston Globe here, and I remember being so nervous, like someone's here to review us, and then the review was so nice. We still use the quotes from that review.
Yeah, and then it's just right over to the border afterwards and get some, chicken fajita salad.
Is the Border Cafe still around?
It's not anymore, Matt? Oh no! Wow.
Right.
We're doing Falafel Corner tonight, I think. Falafel Corner is.
All right.
Border. I had my first adult beverage at the Border Cafe. That's right. Margarita time there. Oh, those were the days.
Wow.
Okay, Mourning the Border.
Yeah, I'm surprised about that. Wow, okay. This is our new single.
Nothing's ever as good as it was. See, Jenny Lewis knew. She knew what to say.
She had it right.
Oh, yeah, so this is the most recent release. next go round. We will get it right.
In the summer 2020, I was up on a fence. Seems I lost my work, hard to pay my rent. Stressing out my babies with money moving fast. Wondering about the future, waiting for the past. Oh no. Oh no. Seems hope went out the window till my boy came to me. Said, Dad, let's build that tree house up there in the tree. We've been fixing to forever, so let's do it now. Grab some old nails and a hammer, then pow. Struck me like lightning now. Knocked me to my knees. Doodle-doo, that old 2020 vision has got me to say, just hold on to what you got, to what it is, not what it's not. Hold on to what you got. It won't last forever, and that's a lot of time to be wasted feeling sorry for myself. Time to drown dreams in the bottle on the shelf. Time to pick it up, time to put it down. Time to be seen as a leader, not a clown. Grab the whole family, tune the old guitar, sing round the campfire, sing a shooting star, and hold on to what you got, to what it is, not what it's not. Hold on to what you got. Love gonna last forever, and that's a lot. Singing la na 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 la na 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 na. Hold on, everybody. La na 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 la na 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 la na 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 na. Hold on. Time to be waxing floors with my wife. Time to spend time with my sister and her wife. Bike rides to be ridden, closets to be clean. We're doing this time. We're doing this time. Baby, we're doing this time. This time ain't doing me. Yesterday's nothing. Tomorrow was a big maybe on today's cash in hand. So let's go, baby, hold on to what you got, to what it is, not what it's not. Hold on to what you got. Love gonna rule this world, and that's a lot of love to sing. La 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 la. Hold on. La 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 la. Hold on. To what you got, love gonna last forever, and that's a lie.
So you mentioned, you specifically referred to this place as the hallowed halls of Club Passim, and I've been reading. I mean, I just got this 2 weeks ago. The "Baby, Let Me Follow You Down," which is the illustrated history of the Cambridge folk years, 50s, 60s, and this place plays a huge part in the history of folk music in the United States and in the world. Can you talk a little bit about how this place has affected you and maybe memorable gigs or just what's been important to you about this place?
Well, I started as a street artist in Cambridge back in the early 90s, and I would dream about having a gig at Passim's. I used to play right down the alley here under the coop. And I got a real dose of that 90s folk scene back then. I saw all kinds of artists here. And I've got friends who saw like Duke Ellington here back in the 50s, or no, 60s. You know, I know people who saw Joni Mitchell on the stage. Joan Baez, a dude out of Hibbing, Minnesota called Bob Dylan. It's the hallowed halls, man. Jackson Browne, Tracy Chapman. Everybody's played here over the years who was like a singer-songwriter. And so to me, it's like a church of music. And so when I finally got my gig, it was back in the days when Bob Donnellan and Ray Ann still owned the place. And he'd be back there, you know, holding up one finger. "One more song, Martin, one more." And it was just, you just don't see this anymore, you know, that character and that just uniqueness in a venue. So I'm glad it's still here, man. It's pretty rare for something like that to stick around for this long. So kudos to you, Passim's. I'll always think of it as Passim's. I didn't know it as Club Passim back when in my day, but what a wonderful place to hail from.
It's Martin Sexton. Before that, we heard from Dwight and Nicole. I got a chance to sit down and talk with Martin before his set, and what a joy it was to catch up with him. I hadn't seen him in many years. My time coming into the club was sort of when he was already moving on to bigger places, but I'd gotten to interact with him a few times before, and so it was really fun to sit down and reminisce with him for a while about the club and his history there and all the people we had in common. So that was Martin Sexton. And before that, Dwight and Nicole, who we are definitely going to get back in the room again. It's been ages, and it was so fun to have them in for those Paste sessions. So thanks to Paste Magazine for putting together a few days of incredible music in the room. We've got one more video for you. Before we get to that video, I want to remind you to make a donation at passim.org/stream. If we're asking for a $20 donation, if you do a $100 donation, half of that goes to the club, half goes into the Pear Fund, and you're going to get one of the Passim face masks. So not this one, because I've been wearing it, so you don't get this one. But we have about 10 more available, and those are going to go to folks who make donations to the Pear Fund and to the show tonight. So thank you for tuning in. One more thing before we sign off for this evening and play that last video. We do have a lot of streaming shows to come, so keep an eye out of the club. We've got Elisa Amador on Saturday night. We've got Saturday night, and then the next Saturday night we've got Dietrich Strauss. Next month we're going to have the Ladles and some other folks playing in the room. But we've got one more video for you right now, taken from last Friday night. It was her album release show. And every album release show, there's only one album release show, but every time she's headlined the club before, she has sold out the room. And we had enough watching online for a sold out show. So it was fun to see that. But this was one of the biggest bands we'd had. The Lamplighter show might have had a band this size, but this one was kind of the biggest singular band in the room for a show. And what a sound it was. And this is Katie Jones.
It would just be weird to like not acknowledge the humans in this space because I'm so excited that they're here. So I'm gonna introduce the band right now. So I have Emily Baker here on fiddle and singing, and Emily is one of my oldest pals, and we've been singing together now for like almost a decade. So very happy to have her here. We got Ben Cosgrove back here on the keys. Definitely check him out. He just had a couple of singles come out, and they're so gorgeous. We have Chris Sartori over here. He is in an amazing band called Twisted Pine. You should check them out. We've got Kevin O'Connell over here from the band Coral Moons. And we have Daniel Radin, who is in the band Future Teens, as well as his own project called Lake St. Daniel. And Daniel was co-produced and mixed and recorded and just played on the record, and basically was my #1 partner in making this happen. So wherever you are, give this wonderful group of people a big round of applause. And we're going to play some more songs for you.
For you today, I've been wrestling with the world in a bad, bad way, and I don't know if I can get back down to where you are. Honey, yours is a face that I've not seen, but I've been stubborn and afraid of all the messes I made along the way. I've been thinking I might like to be your lady. Think I might like you to be my man. 'Cause there are things I've held all to myself, and I was wondering, would you hold them if you can? Words for you today, and I know that lets you down, and they're keeping me around, might break your heart. Honey, sometimes the spring just takes a while, but while the winter's blowing cold, every day I'm getting bolder by the I've been thinking I might like to be your lady. Think I might like you to be my man. 'Cause there are things I've held all to myself, and I was wondering, would you hold them if you can? Don't you ever think I'm tired of you? I'm just tired of everything. I had never lost my fire for you. I set fire to everything. But I've been thinking I might like to be your lady. Think I might like 'cause there are things I've held all to myself, and I was wondering, would you hold them if you can? Thank you.
It's Katie Jones. Look at you in your fancy jacket. You went and
Look,
put on a fancy jacket.
I wanted to bookend because I think of this as my Dinty jacket.
Oh, right. His
it might
upholstered
have-
jacket.
It might have been difficult to tell, but in the very first clip that we played from the horrible concert window angle, he was wearing his jacket that looks very much like this, and it felt appropriate.
Excellent, excellent.
Yeah.
Well, so that is a look at the past year and what we've been doing for all that time.
And there are so many other things that we could have put in. You know, we've had the Boston Celtic Music Festival. We were a part of the Folk Alliance International Conference. There was our monthly Discovery series, our monthly Global Roots series. There's so many other things we could have talked about, but we tried to keep it to 2 hours.
We almost did, too.
Almost did. We hope that you enjoyed kind of like this look back at how things have evolved with us.
And if you go back on our Facebook page and on our YouTube page at youtube.com/Club Passim, you can rewatch the entirety of most of these videos. The whole shows are still up there. But you all watching and donating are the reason that we've been able to survive through all this. A lot of venues have shut their doors, some permanently, some temporarily, at least until they can get back in the room and do something now. But we've been thrilled to be able to continue to present music to you all through these streaming platforms, and we'll continue to do so even once we're back in the room.
And we're looking at when we can get back in the room, but no one knows when that's going to be yet. We're not picking a date on the calendar. We are keeping an eye on how things look and when it's going to be safe for everyone to come back. So, I even though you all want to know the answer, we don't have the answer yet.
Yeah, we wish we wish you did.
But as soon as we do, we're going to let you know, and it's going to be a party.
Even if we have to wear masks at that party.
Even
Speaking
then,
of
it's going to be great. Oh yes. So if you donate to $100 to us tonight, you could be one of 10 recipients for our final Passim face masks. We did a limited run in December, and we have only 10 left. So if you would like to snag one of those, that's the only way that you can get a Passim face mask.
And yes, please continue to support both us and the artists, because when we're taking donations for shows, normally when we have live shows, those proceeds are going to both Passim and to the artists that are playing them, just like a regular show. And we hope to continue to be employing artists this way, right up until the days we're able to get you back in the room again with us.
And we also might continue some things online, even once we are back in the room. For instance, like the open mic, maybe the School of Music. You know, we want to try to keep things as accessible as possible and inviting as many folks as possible to get involved. And so once we get back in the room, it's definitely going to be a hybrid thing, because we want to keep bringing things out to you.
Yeah, and we're going to keep finding new music for you and hopefully presenting those things to you online, sometimes even before they're able to tour out this way. So we want to be supporting artists everywhere and finding new ways to turn you all on to new artists. So that's part of our mission, and we hope that you're there with us for it.
Well, thank you for joining us tonight. I hope you enjoyed this little retrospective. This is going to stay up, so if there's someone that you think should see this, feel free to share this link with them. It will stay up. They'll be able to enjoy this look back at a year of Passim, and do be sure to join us in the future as well. You can go to passim.org/stream and see all of our shows scheduled for the next month.
Yeah. So tune in tomorrow night. We've got a show through the Mandolin platform with Alistair Fraser and Natalie Haas. And then we've got Elisa Amador with her band In the Room on Saturday. We're so excited. Thanks for being here. Thanks to Abby for putting this clip show together.
And thank you to Rachel Sumner, who heads our School of Music, for coming on and talking about the school and the classes.
And thanks to the whole staff and the board for continuing to push us through this pandemic, for helping to guide us the best ways that we can, and to the staff for just being an endless inspiration. And watch American Idol. That's something I never thought I'd say.
Yeah,
because Bean is on American Idol, and so watch that too, whenever that's on. I guess it's Sundays.
Sundays, I think.
Yeah.
Not sure. And
I know
thanks to Matt
Bean
for
was flying out there today, so.
And thanks to Matt for being the face of so many of these streams. It is not easy to host things all the
grizzled
time.
old face.
But there's your face, and we love it. And thanks to you for putting all these words to all of these things.
Well, I do what I can, and we're here. We're here to support the musicians. We're here to be an outlet for you all out there to get a little bit of music into your ears and feeling into your hearts. So thank you for being here and being part of what we do. We're all in this together, and vaccines are coming. Vaccines are coming, folks. Hopefully sooner than later for everybody. And when we're all safe and sound, we'll see you back in the room.
Good night.